What's good, R&B squad? This is out of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. The word that I have today is a kingdom marriage word. It is a lyrical message, comes from a song that the Lord placed in my spirit. And as per usual, as you listen to the details, you will know by the details whether or not this word is for you. Please eat the meat, spit out the bone, take what's for you, and leave the rest. Also, prayerfully and carefully examine the word as you listen so that you will know for sure if it is your word. So again, this is a kingdom marriage word. It comes from a song that the Lord placed on my spirit recently. And this song, the only reason I knew this song is because my dad used to play this song and other songs by Don Henley and the Eagles when I was a kid. My dad liked the Eagles, so well into the 90s and the 2000s, if I said that correctly, he used to play the Eagles music and he would play Don Henley's songs. And that's how I knew about this song. But this song, it's not like he used to have this particular song on rotation all the time. So I only ever heard this song probably like 3 or 4 times in my childhood. But I heard it enough times to remember the melody. And that is what the Lord put in my spirit first. He put the melody in my spirit. And I started humming along to the melody. And I went about my day trying to ignore it, trying my very best to ignore it. But I would keep coming back to the melody. The Lord would keep putting the melody back in my spirit. And then I said, okay, Lord, there has to be something that you're trying to get my attention about with this song. And so I went and I looked it up. I didn't even know the name of the song. I just hummed the melody and the song popped up. And it's called Everything is Different Now, and it is by Don Henley. And if you know this song and you know a bit more about it than I do, feel free to comment down in the comments and let me know, anything that you may know about this particular song. I only know it because of my dad, and that's it. But this came out pretty much, I think, before my time. I don't know. I'm not sure. So it's Everything is Different Now by Don Henley. And let me tell you guys, when I listened to this song and I listened to the lyrics, I got chills, goosebumps. I was in the feels, all of that, because y'all, God is something else. God is something else. Just the way that he can use something like a song and lyrics for it to fit someone's situation so perfectly. And for those of you whom this is for, you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. And I really do hope that I can do this song justice. I hope that I can bring the message to you, deliver the message to you for those of you whom this is for, the way God would have me do it, because it really is a beautiful message. So the song, again, is Everything is Different Now by Don Henley. He used to be with the Eagles and then he became a solo act. And I am going to put a link in the description box to the lyrics for those of you who would like to listen yourselves. This is the first verse. I hate to tell you this, but I'm very, very happy. And I know that's not what you'd expect from me at all. I'm not the kind to smile and bow out gracefully. I always wanted to take it to the wall. So let me read that again. This is the first verse of Don Henley's Everything is Different Now. I hate to tell you this, but I'm very, very happy. And I know that's not what you'd expect from me at all. I'm not the kind to smile and bow out gracefully. I always wanted to take it to the wall. So for those of you whom this is for, this is coming from the perspective of your person. And that first verse is an indication that your person is at a place in his life or a place in her life right now where they're looking at the people who thought that they would never be happy. And they're saying, you know what? I choose peace. I choose happiness. I know this is not what you expect from me. You expect me to be miserable for the rest of my life because, I don't know, you're not in my life anymore, because I no longer deal with you guys, because for some of you, your person, there are people that they've had to cut off. There are people that your person, and this can apply whether or not you know who your person is. So if you know who your person is, they may be going through this transition in their lives where there are people that God is cutting off from them, people that God has put it on their heart to cut off, because those people can't come where God is taking them. Those people can't come into your union. They can be around when your person comes into union with you. And for those of you who don't know your person, it's the same thing. Your person may very well be going through this transition period before they meet you, where there are people that they have to distance themselves from. So this first verse here, where the individual is saying, I hate to tell you this, but I'm happy, and I know you don't expect this from me. And I'm not the kind to give up and bow out gracefully. I always wanted to take it to the wall. So in other words, your person is saying to every single person, every individual who thought that they would amount to nothing, who thought that they wouldn't be happy, who thought that when they cut them off or cut off the friendship or cut off the connection or cut off the counterfeit relationship, that they would no longer be at peace, they would no longer be happy. Your person is saying, hey, don't count me out. I don't go down without a fight. I always wanted to take it to the wall. So that's the first verse. Now let me get into the second verse. Actually, this is the bridge. Oh no, it's still the first verse. But I found somebody with a heart as big as Texas. Listen to that again. But I found somebody with a heart as big as Texas. So even the mention of Texas, this isn't going to apply for all of you, to all of you. For some of you, the mention of Texas and even the mention of the South on the whole is a confirmation for somebody. Your person may be Southern. So the singer is saying here, I found somebody with a heart as big as Texas. So basically your person is saying that they found you. They're letting these people know, these people who thought that they would be miserable without them when they cut them off, they're letting these people know the person that God has for me, their heart is so big that, listen, I don't need y'all around me. This person's heart is so big and there's so much love in this person's heart, and it's like nothing I've ever experienced. So I found somebody whose heart is as big as Texas. I found an angel with golden wings. She saw me down here in the dark somehow, and everything is different now. And that is so beautiful. I want to read it again. But I found somebody with a heart as big as Texas. I found an angel with golden wings. She saw me down here in the dark somehow, and everything is different now. So this is your person making a declaration of what you mean to him or what you mean to her. And if you have not met your person yet, this is how they're going to feel about you. They're going to feel, or they already feel if you already know them, that you are an angel to them. Just the way you carry yourself, just the way you live your life, the way you allow the love of the Lord to flow in and through you and you show it to others. It's like they're saying, you know what? This person is so full of love. They're like an angel here on earth. That's what your person thinks of you or will think of you when he or she meets you. It's like you're an angel here on earth. And it goes on to say, and she saw me. And if you're a guy listening to this, you can just flip it. Your person may be saying, he saw me down here in the dark somehow. So your person feels that they were in this very, very dark place. And the Lord used you to shine a light on them. The Lord used you to illuminate their path so that they can see where they're going. And that is something that they will never be able to forget. So going into the rest of the lyrics here. And everything is different now. So that part is important. Everything is different now. Your love for this person is going to be life-altering, life-changing. And here's the second verse. Yeah, I miss the old crowd sometimes and the wild, wild nights of running. You know, a starving soul can't live like that for long. You go around in circles that just keep getting smaller. You wake up one morning and half your life is gone. So let me read that again. Yeah, I miss the old crowd sometimes and the wild, wild nights of running. You know, a starving soul can't live like that for long. You go around in circles that just keep getting smaller. You wake up one morning and half your life is gone. So for those of you whom this is for, your person may have been someone who used to party a lot. They may have gotten around. They may have had multiple partners. They may have had several failed relationships. Some of them have had a failed marriage. And basically, they're in the headspace where they think, I can't live like this anymore. It's just been more of the same for all of these years and all of these decades. It's the same thing. Every time you go to the club or you go to a party, it's the same faces that you see. And before you know it, the circle just keeps getting smaller and smaller. And then it goes on to say here, a starving soul can't live like that for long. So your person, and this really is what this is about. It's even bigger than you and them and the love that the two of you have, or the love that the two of you will have. It's bigger than that. Your person, his or her soul, their soul has really been crying out for something greater than what they've experienced. They realize that this life without God in it is empty. And you were the first glimpse, in some instances, you were the first glimpse of God's love that these people actually saw. This is the first glimpse of God's love that your person has ever seen in his or her life. And they realized when they got a taste of that, that is what they were starving for all along. They realized that it wasn't about the partying. It wasn't about the circle of friends. It wasn't about the alcohol. It wasn't about the sex. They really just wanted the love of God. And you, the Lord either already used you, is using you right now, or will use you to show this to them. And once they get a taste of that, they will never be the same. So going back to the lyrics, I got so tired of that. I got so lonely. I dropped down and I called out to heaven, send me someone to love. And this part of the song is so beautiful. Listen to that again. I got so tired of that. I got so lonely. And what the individual means is that he or she, what your person is saying is that they got so tired of running around in circles and of more of the same. I got so tired of that and I got so lonely. I dropped down and I called out to heaven, send me someone to love. So your person very well may be praying and asking God, Lord, I want something different. I want what you have for me. I no longer want what the world has to offer. I only want your will. And if this word is for you, you need to be singing God's praises, because this is exactly what you've been praying for. You've been praying for your person to surrender his or her everything to God. And this is exactly what they're saying here. I dropped down and called out to heaven, send me someone to love. And then it says, and heaven shot back, you get the love that you allow. And heaven shot back, you get the love that you allow. And everything is different now. So that line right there, the singer saying, or your person saying, that they dropped down on their knees and called out to God and asked for someone to love. And God, they're saying heaven shot back, but what they really mean is God. God said to them, you'll get the love that you allow. That right there was the epiphany that your person has been waiting for. They realized that God really had everything waiting to hand to them if they just surrendered to him. So your person is at that point where they're having this epiphany. They're realizing that the only way they can access everything that God has for them, including you, is if they allow it. They realize that they need to stop standing in their own way. They know they need to get out of their own way and stop jeopardizing their own blessings in order for God to give them the kind of love that they seek, the kind of life that they seek. So basically they called out to God, or they're calling out to God right now, and they're saying, Lord, I want a love that you send to me. I don't want what the world has to offer. The next time I fall in love, the next time I'm in a relationship, I want it to be from you. And the Lord is saying, well, it's right here. It's all of it is right here. You just have to accept it. It's what you allow. If you allow me into your life, I stand at the door and knock. If you allow me into your life, the love that you seek, I'm willing to give it to you. So this is an outright conversation that your person is having with God right now, to have God come in and heal their hearts and change their life. And I think that that is so beautiful. That is literally an answered prayer for some of you. You've been praying for your person to do this, and this is what they're doing. And then it says here, oh, and it's sweet to know the wisdom that living brings, since I got a telegram from the God of simple things. And basically, it's like God is saying to your person, those circles that you say you're tired of, that sameness, that more of the same, the drinking, the partying, the sex that's pointless and has no meaning to it, that lifestyle that you're saying that you're tired of, the fake friends, the bad choices that you made. I have the solution for that. I have the healing balm for that. If you allow me, and this is God saying this to them, if you allow me into your life, I'm going to help you get off that never-ending hamster wheel, that roller coaster ride that you're so sick of. Because you're sick of it. You want something different. I've got something different for you. I've got somebody different for you. Somebody that is going to be a breath of fresh air. So moving right along with the lyrics, the rest of the lyrics. She said, I don't care what you do for a living. She said, I don't care what kind of car you drive. All I want to know right now is what you believe in and what it means to you to be alive. So your person realizes, or they will realize, that you are not about a material kind of life, a materialistic kind of life. You're not interested in that. You're not interested in what they've got in the bank. You're not interested in what kind of car your person drives. You're not interested in any of those things. You just want to know, what is their purpose for living? Are they putting God at the center? That is what is most important to you. And then it says, will you stand here in this fire with me? So this is you asking your person this question. You're saying, will you stand in this Holy Spirit fire with me? Will you allow the Lord to prune you? Will you allow the Lord to use you? And then it goes on here to say, are you ready for another life? So this is you asking your person. And some of you, when your person comes into your life or returns to you, if you're in separation, or when the two of you connect and start talking about your feelings, these are the questions that you're going to ask this person. You're going to ask him or her, well, listen, are you ready to change your life? Are you ready to let God change your life? Are you ready to be baptized in Holy Spirit fire? Are you ready for something different? Because you say you're sick of the life that you've been living. In order to be with me, you have to accept my Father in heaven. We are a packaged deal. You don't get me without my Father. So this is the conversation that you're going to be having with your person. And your person is going to answer you like this. This is what it says in the rest of the song. So I bit that bullet and I took that vow. Praise God. And everything is different now. So when you ask your person these questions, when God asks them these questions, they're going to say, you know what? I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm biting the bullet. I'm taking the vow. I'm asking this person to spend his or her life with me. I'm going to do that. So that is what this is going to culminate into. It's going to culminate into marriage, because that is what this person wants. Your person is at this point now where he or she is so tired of living an empty life. I mean, they've seen it all. They know the world has nothing to offer to them. So now they want something else. They want you. God truly did save the best for last. That's why for some of you it took so long, because your person had to get good and fed up with the life that they were living. And you see, that's something that a lot of us don't understand. We will sit there and we will ask the Lord, Lord, why is it taking so long? Why is it? And if I have to wait for this other person to change. But you see, not only is God creating the fruit of the Spirit in you, sharpening the fruit of the Spirit in you when you have to wait, and show this person grace. But he's also allowing your person to get to the point where he or she is good and fed up living a life contrary to the life that God wants him or her to live. You see, someone can't change unless they genuinely want to. God is not going to come in and clean up somebody's dirty house unless they agree to let him in and let him do it. God is a gentleman. He's not just going to clean your house without your permission. So your person had to get good and fed up of living the redundant, repetitive life that he or she was living. And they had to literally come to a point where they said to God, God, you know what? I don't want to live like this anymore. I only want what you have for me. And you better believe that you didn't want them in your life before they got to that point. You might think you did, but you did not want them in your life until they were no longer double-minded, until they could have gone to God and said, you know what? I want nothing else but what you have for me. I don't want to be with anybody else but whom you have for me. You ought to be glad and be singing the Lord's praises that they've finally gotten to that place, and that this is when God is bringing the two of you together. Because now there's no room for double-mindedness. And you know what I love about this song when I listen to it? In the very ending, when it says everything is different now, and they keep repeating that, this choir comes in and starts to sing. And the choir almost sounds like angels. They sound just like a choir of angels if you listen to them. And man, this song is so beautiful. It is so beautiful, and it is so deeply prophetic, because that is the place where many of you whom this word is for, that is where you're at right now. Your person, you may not be seeing the changes in them. You may not see anything yet in the natural that looks like they're changing. For those of you who have not met your person yet, it may be quiet. You may not have even, you may feel like you don't have any prospects. Just know that when it looks quiet, that's when God is putting in the work. So he's been working on your person's heart, giving them a new heart. And they're at this point now in their lives where they no longer want what the world has to offer. They no longer want to be in a counterfeit situation. They no longer want to be with counterfeit friends, in counterfeit relationships. They don't want to make decisions that aren't going to benefit you and them in the long run. So just know that when this man or when this woman comes to you, they're coming to you starving for what God has for them. And that's the best way for them to come to you. And that's the message, guys. So I hope that this message blessed someone. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.